Dr Hilary, here we go again, talking about, God, if I can sit up in this, talking about new weight loss jabs. There's a new one making headlines this morning. It's not so much losing the weight, that's half the battle, isn't it? It's keeping weight off, and apparently this one, we are told, will keep weight off.
There's so many things being in trials at the moment to look for, you know, the holy grail.
Well, there's a lot of money to be made, isn't there?
Well, absolutely.
A lot of money to be made.
So this new one is called RES10. It's in sort of development, investigative development at the moment, and it works in a different way to just controlling appetite. So it works on a molecule which is called the master controller of the way we process lots of things that lead to obesity, particularly the way we process fat distribution in the body. So what it does is it works on this molecule, stops it acting like that, and it means that we burn fat more quickly in the little energy factories in our cells called mitochondria. It also helps us to burn white fat, which is where fat is stored, and transfer it into brown fat, which we burn for energy. So there's lots of excitement about this. It's being trialled in mice at the moment. So we know that it works in mice. So the mice that ate the same amount as mice that weren't on the jab lost more weight eating the same stuff.
Right.
But we need to do safety trials in humans. That work's just started. And it's another string to the bow, if you like, to control weight without just losing the hunger.
But we have to know more.
We have to know
mice,
more.
And I always think trialling things on wee mice, you've got to do it on, as you said, you've got to make sure it works in people.
It works in people, yeah.
And
you know, it's quite a fundamental change in the way we metabolise fat, so we need to make sure it's safe. So it's not available yet, but it's something on the horizon.
Could be all kinds of implications, couldn't there? Talking about weight loss jabs, apparently they're increasing the workload of GPs.
Of course,
which is the last thing in the world you want to happen right now.
Well, we knew this would happen. The criteria for GPs being able to prescribe weight loss jabs is very strict. Your BMI has to be over 40, which is very high. You have to have at least 4 or 5 conditions related to obesity. So not many people are going to be eligible to get this on the NHS, and there's only going to be 220,000 people going to be eligible in the next 3 years who will get treatment on the NHS, because you have to have all those wraparound services.
Of course.
You know, you have to learn about what's best to eat, you have to learn about taking more exercise, and the way you think about food. And all that costs money. It means extra staff. And apparently, in a survey of 1,200 GPs and practice nurses, 1 in 25 consultations now are taken up with people wanting the jabs.
1 in 25?
1 in 25. And they'll either bring it up as the main reason they're seeing the GP, or in addition to what they're seeing the GP for. Right. So GPs are saying, look, we can't do this. We can't help them.
You can't.
And they're asking people not to bring it up.
It's not practical. What you need to have is a specialist nurse or something like that, which again will cost money.
There has to be the funding.
Yeah.
There has to be the funding.
Good luck with that, as we say, for goodness sake. This is interesting, a breakthrough for something that an awful lot of people suffer from, that's terrible. Urinary tract infections, they're called UTIs.
Yeah, bladder infections, cystitis, that sort of thing. So we know that it's a very, very common problem.
Right.
But we also know that, you know, it's quite difficult to treat sometimes because there's increasing resistance to the antibiotics we've been using.
Right.
So there's a new antibiotic called gabapentinoid, which works in a different way. Most antibiotics work on a bacterial cell wall, but this one acts on 2 enzymes which the bacteria need to replicate and reproduce. So it works in a different way. It's the first antibiotic for many, many years which works differently and could really help with antibiotic-resistant infections like E. coli, which can be very nasty and can cause kidney infections, pyelonephritis.
Yeah.
So it's 2 tablets twice a day for 5 days. It's been approved by the MHRA and gives us scope for better treatments in the future.
That's very good. There's been new research on cystitis, hasn't there?
Yeah, a Swedish study, this is very interesting, a Swedish study looked at lots of people over 50 particularly to see whether cystitis could be a predictor of more serious conditions, such as prostate cancer, bladder cancer. And actually they did find a correlation. In people over 50 who developed cystitis, it did appear that there was a significant number of people within 3 months who developed a cancer or was diagnosed with the cancer afterwards. So they thought, well, why is this? It could be because the immunity is reduced, that something about the early stages of the cancer is making cystitis more likely. But what it basically boils down to is that in people over 50 getting cystitis, it raises awareness and that suspicion that there might be something else
Wee red
underlying
flag,
it.
yeah.
So if symptoms continue,
Yeah.
and certainly people should be followed up after a diagnosis of cystitis,
Sure.
we might be able to diagnose those cancers earlier.
OK, so don't panic
Oh,
if you
absolutely
have
not.
cystitis.
No, because it's very common.
We're
Yeah.
not saying that this might lead to it, but it's just something...
Just raises that little bit of suspicion.
Yeah, of course. Now, you know, people use deodorants, they use all sorts of sprays and all of that, but there's this new trend
Yes,
for
they're all
getting
the
a
rage.
deodorant and using it all over your body.
All over deodorants and body
In
sprays, that's right. Apparently,
everywhere.
some American doctor in 2018 noticed people getting stressed about body odour, which people should worry about,
Yeah.
but not go overboard. So, yeah, there's this massive trend towards all-over body sprays and deodorants. So, for example, Shaw launched this one, which is called a whole-body deodorant. This one is in sort of cream lotion form.
OK.
And they're saying it can be used not just in armpits, but under boobs, feet, intimate areas as well.
Right.
Lynx have got this one, lower body spray,
OK.
which is for intimate
Oh, yeah,
areas.
I've seen the adverts, they're very silly.
And this one, yes, they are very silly. And the Daisy, again, perfumed fragrance oils all over, which can be sprayed on
Right.
any area, clothes, hair, whatever.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because should you go anywhere near... I mean, talking from a female point of view, you should just leave your noonie alone. I mean, wash it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
obviously.
Well,
for
people
goodness sake,
do,
But
yeah.
don't be putting things on it.
Well, it can lead to cystitis and thrush and allergies and all
Yeah.
sorts of things. If I can just explain the
Yes.
difference between a deodorant, an antiperspirant and a body spray.
Go on then.
OK? So an antiperspirant will contain something that stops you perspiring in the first place. So it will probably contain aluminium.
Right.
None of these do.
OK.
So they call themselves deodorants, but they're not antiperspirants.
Right.
Deodorants will act on the bacteria which lead to the body odour, breaking down the sweat, causing the body. OK? And then a body spray will just be a fragrance oil in an alcohol or water base. And of course, they're sort of 1 to 5% fragrance oils, whereas an eau de toilette would be 10 to 15%, and an eau de parfum about 15, 20 plus.
Right.
So the sprays are very weak.
OK.
They don't last very long.
Yeah.
They don't do any harm unless you've got a condition like eczema or psoriasis or an allergy to fragrances. But they're not medically necessary, as you say, very
You
sensibly.
But do you not think... I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
Good wash.
we're always told don't be interfering.
No, you're quite right.
Down
You're
below.
quite right. Yes, and don't put sort of bubble bath. You know, if you've got thrush and other stuff.
Yes.
Don't be using fragrances that could irritate the skin.
Well,
more.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just yet another way to make some money out of us thinking, oh my goodness.
Do you know
are
what?
we...
I think you might be onto something.
think so?
I think you do. Yeah, you might be.
Hilary, thank you.
Pleasure.
Always a joy.
Looking for more health and wellness content? Well, there's plenty more really useful information right here on our channel. How about you check out this one?